let me introduce you to some new boys. New boys. New boys.
Sorry, I was doing choreo.
Oh yeah, sorry, you could have come in. Hello, this is Gaze Planet, where we recap the K-pop boy band survival show, Boys Planet, and none of your faves are safe. And probably not ours either, because they'll be eliminated. I'm Miles.
I'm Andy.
And we watched episode 1. We're going to walk you through that episode.
Mess up foreign names and
Choose
our own pronunciations.
We're going to play fast and loose with the names, because, how do you learn, 95 people's names that are also not names you're used to learning? Okay, so this episode, we were worried that it was just going to be people walking into a room for 2 hours, which I think is what Girls Planet gave us on the first episode, but...
Well, we learned that Chai Bing loves chicken feet. So that's something I will cherish forever. Mm-hmm. That the baddest bitch likes the silliest food.
Justice. Well, I actually don't even know justice for Chai Bing because she might have got what she deserved. I don't know. So no, this episode was different than Girls Planet, where we got 21 performances apparently.
Yeah.
Maybe they weren't all shown, but
11 were shown, and 21 were posted to YouTube for your viewing pleasure.
Yeah, and we watched them all.
We think.
I think so. Yeah, this episode just kind of got right into it. There was a guy that we don't know who he is in a Star Trek-like set that kind of gave you the premise about K-pop being global, and then he touched a tap light that said start, and we went into a Polly Pocket model and entered the studio.
Yeah.
And I like the set. I think that people are saying that the set might be cheap, but I think the set looks amazing. It's like...
I think it is more condensed than last year.
It's not super tall like the past shows. It's just like a cool circle.
And the stage is divided into K group and G group, global group. Mm-hmm. And there's one chair in the center. Mm-hmm. And in the first episode, you can sit there if you want, but a boy can challenge you to, take the seat. It was just, very... I think it was just trying to introduce you to some personalities of people, very quickly by seeing how they interact with each other.
It felt kind of Lord of the Flies. These boys are oh my god, it's just boys in a room and we're going to establish... a hierarchy. It felt very oh, it's boys and we have to fight for dominance over a chair.
Well, for 99% of them. I mean, the chair is a throne.
Yeah, it looks comfy.
And what everybody else is sitting on are plastic clear chairs that you would get at IKEA. So for 99 of those boys, or 98 of those boys, it'll be the only time they sit in that chair. According to Mnet, there's going to be 4 global people in the final group and 4 Koreans in the final group. And then whoever the number one...
One's verse.
Yeah, one is verse.
Yeah, so it's exciting. I think that if that news holds of, this group is, for the first time, is actually going to be, a quota system of global to Korean. Because we saw it with IZ*ONE and we saw it with Kepler. These international shows end up just producing mostly Korean groups. And it kind of doesn't really deliver on the promise of, the premise of the show. But I wanted to ask the question, what is your criteria for choosing, who you like in shows like this? And I did... write down some criteria, because there's you could choose on vocal, you could choose on talent and choose I want a good vocalist, I want a good rapper, or I want a good dancer. You could choose on charisma, humor, visual, or I guess leadership.
Do I have to pick from those?
No, I mean those are just to get the thought started, because we've chosen on all. Wenza from Girls Planet, we just chose because she was funny. We loved her because she was the funniest person on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that's enough where I'm yeah, I would enjoy her in Kepler.
I think that matters more if you're the kind of fan who is watching their YouTube content.
Or them on variety shows.
Which you and I don't really do that much.
Yeah, I don't get to know, K-pop personalities that much. So, Andy, what criteria do you, what draws you to people, and how do you say I like them versus no?
I think when we were watching the fixed camera, not the edited Mnet version...
The full camera.
Full camera, yeah, sorry, yeah. Full camera. Especially when you're in a group, your eye is just drawn to one or two of the people more than others. And no?
So I think Andy is way better than me at picking out who's dancing better, and I have trouble with that. So often when there's 4 people, I'm they're all great. Sometimes people draw me, but watching the who wants to pull the trigger, I'm well, they're all great. I don't know who to look at.
Yeah, well, I think that Miles is definitely better at picking out voices. You could be flat, and I would have no idea. I don't have the ear for that, but when we're watching them do dances, I'm oh, the guy in the back is off. Like, oh, this person is off.
Yeah.
They're not actually coordinated. She's, like, way too far in front. Like, I notice things like that, and Miles never would.
I do not notice who's off, ever.
But even, let's say that they're all, like, decent singers. Like, we saw, Glitch Mode.
Glitch Mode?
Where there's Anthony, who's, like, a fan favorite because he was on Produce 101 Japan. And then there was a guy doing backflips, and then there was another guy who was, like, cute. And on the show's edit of it, they loved the guy doing backflips, and he ends up getting an all-star.
Haruto,
yeah. But his singing is not good, and my eye was drawn towards Anthony, who's the fan favorite. And I didn't even notice that the guy did a backflip when we watched the full camera. And it wasn't being, like, shown to you 3 times. But I just think, like, Anthony was hitting the dance moves better, looked fully at ease, was a fine enough singer for this audition. And he stuck out to me, and he ended up getting, like, a 2. And the other guy got all-star.
Yeah.
But I just think, like, the people that have an ease about them, and they can add things instead of thinking about what the next dance move is. Like, the American Jay.
Yeah.
At one point, between dance moves, he pulls his pants up slightly. And I'm like, if you know the dance so well that you don't have to think what's coming next, you can think, like, oh, let me just quickly adjust my mic pack. Let me adjust my pants.
Let me fix my hair.
Let me fix my hair. Like, to me, that just shows... It just shows that you're at another level of performing this song than other people are. You're so comfortable with the material.
Yeah.
So that's what I like.
I don't know. I always feel like I'm shallow on these shows because I want vocals and I want looks. I want vocal... Like, I want not just, like, I can hit a high note or I can scream a high note. I want, like, interesting vocal tone, too. Because that's why I'm drawn to K-pop. I love the boy band VIX because they had really cool vocal tones between the different members. Or SHINee. It just makes it so exciting. Or, like, Baekhyun from EXO. Like, I love those, like, voices where you've just never heard something like that before. So I'm always looking for that.
And did you see it?
Yeah. Like, Jay had such a different singing style than anyone else. I mean, we went and listened to the song he did, Rush Hour by Crush, featuring J-Hope. And he does sound like he is kind of just imitating what Crush is doing, but even what Crush is doing sounds more like what maybe like James... It sounds like James Brown to me.
Sounds like Bruno Mars.
Yeah, it sounds like it's informed by, like, Black American singing.
Yeah.
And it just felt more relaxed. And what
Soulful.
I was... Soulful. And what I was impressed by was that, which you don't really get a lot, was Jay had dynamics. Most of the time when people sing on these shows, they're just loud the whole time, but he had different levels of volume. Like, he got quiet and softer in some parts, so I'm like, okay, so he's a real singer because he's doing dynamics.
Anyone else?
That had an interesting tone. I mean, I liked Zhang Hao, the Chinese violinist that did New Things. Sorry, we call it New Things. Kick It. He was, like, the global... I think he ends up being the global #1 pick. And then I kind of liked Christian. We watched, like, the... Christian wasn't shown. He's, like, the, like, I think hot... half Chinese, half white guy.
He looks like a comic book character.
He looks like he has different hair than anyone else. His hair's, like, short. And he also had, like, a really nice, distinct, kind of, like, softer soul... Not soulful, but his vocal tone was cool, too. I'm sad that they didn't show that group, because we liked that group was good.
Oh, and that group is one where it's, like, someone is a decent singer in there, but doesn't have the star power and looks like he's struggling the whole time. And Christian is like, I'm a decent singer... But I'm looking at the judges. I have facials.
Great facials.
Great facials. I know this choreography, and just that your eye is drawn to him so much more, even though he might not be the best on paper.
Yeah. So yeah, I like vocals, and then I put visuals, I think we both do, I don't know, I put visuals in it too, because I take the shallowness of it where I'm like, if you're trying to become an idol and you're asking people to idolize you and you're supposed to say, look how cool I am and how hot I am, I just think that you can't look like a dork. And if you do look like a dork, because K-pop groups have dorks in them too, then you should be the most talented person, because I always think, like, if someone, okay, I don't want to, like, throw stones, but I will. Baekhyun from EXO is, like, not attractive to me at all, but he's extremely talented, and that's how you know who the talented people are, because they're the people that, despite being unattractive, are in the groups because they're so fucking talented. So
And if you're a girl, you're the only one who looks truly like a Korean woman.
Yeah, and if you're a girl, you're like, I look like a Korean... Yeah, what you said.
I have a round face.
But I could, like, we need me to do those high notes. So I think that the look is important. And there's, like, so many people that just look like my, like, skinny, nerdy friends from high school. And I'm like, and they have no chins. And I'm like, I don't know, guys.
There's just, like, so many guys that look like serpents with... like Mo from the Three Stooges wigs on.
Yeah. Like, either look
They're
hot.
like, let me part my bangs, and is that style?
Yeah, like, look hot or look okay, and we can style you to be hot, but I don't want a Voldemort. I
And that's
don't.
what we were getting.
Unless the Voldemort sings like Mariah Carey, then you can get in. Then you're good. Oh, I wanted to ask you, so the episode starts, getting back into, like, the running through of it. They walk through basically, like, a Star Trek Next Generation hallway, and then into the main room, and they have to put stars on their badge of how confident they are in their abilities. How many stars would you put on?
1?
Well, with our skill level, obviously we'd put, like, I put none and just hope for 1 star.
No, but we learned bop bop.
I didn't.
I won't do the high notes, but you can do the 1 second long high notes.
Yeah. I also do that too while I'm watching the show. I sing along with it to be like, how high is this high note? Like, can I hit it? Or is it like, and I mean, I can hit high notes too, but I'm always like, is this so high, like so beyond? Or is this like, like, because sometimes the high note is truly like a mid note, but.
Yeah, whenever they do the low high notes, it just sounds like it's like a question at the end. They're like,
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Stable Kings.
I just wonder how many stickers did they have to buy for this?
Oh, I know.
Do you think they ran out of stickers? It didn't look like there was 500 stickers
I would have been
in that
pocketing.
pinball machine or
Bro,
in the
pocket those
gumball machine.
Pocket those stickers, sell them on eBay.
Or pull them out later. Later in a performance, be like, shink.
You'd be like, 1 star, but yeah, oh yeah. That's the drag. That's like for us watching RuPaul's Drag Race, we're like, the
What are the
reveal.
gimmicks?
What's the gimmick?
But those go over well in these shows.
Oh, I was gonna ask you, if you were competing for the chair, what would you do to competing for the 1 chair? I bet you could arm wrestle and beat almost all of them.
No, I don't have torque because I have little tiny arms.
Okay. Well, you could probably do a feat of strength and beat most of them. But you're also like a 31-year-old like man, and they're like teens.
Yeah, in their prime.
Andy's looking like concerned and attacked.
I mean, the only skill I have is like, we could...
Oh, who takes a better photo? Andy's very photogenic and he has this whole photo routine. You could do that.
Yeah, maybe. If we had kitchen equipment, we could say who makes the fastest omelet, but I don't think that they are providing that for the chair.
Okay, my first thought was push-up contest.
For you?
Yeah, because I did set my high school push-up record unofficially. But then I think that would just take too long for TV.
Yeah.
So I was thinking just now to do the breathing exercise that I was doing in my vocal lessons where you breathe in all your air and then go sss, and you breathe out on an S and see how long you can have breath control and for. I would do that. Because it's vocal related and it's quicker and it only takes 30 seconds.
Yeah. And you think you would win? Against trained singers?
Well, they're all terrible singers, and none of them had breath support, so I think I'd probably win most of them. Okay, well, I just want to go over that now. Like, who did we like? Who stood out? Who would we conceivably be like, I would love them in this final group?
I want to start with, who are the top 2 people you think Mnet is pushing?
Oh, Sung Hanbin, because he got an entire whacking lesson or whack off, oh, that sounds wrong, with Lip J.
Do you think Sung Han-bin is gay?
I hope to God.
I kind of think he is.
I pray.
I got some gay vibes from him. The way he was looking at Lip J was more like,
Yes,
sassy
honey,
bitch.
hunty.
Yeah, it was like,
yeah.
I'm gonna hunt the house down boots, mama. It wasn't like, let me show up this bitch.
The Hanbin Lip J moment, I was like, are we watching RuPaul's Drag Race?
Okay, and if you don't know what whacking is, it is what, Miles?
Oh, God. Whacking is a oh, God. I'm so white to do this. Whacking is a 1980s dance move. It's kind of related. If you don't know, it's a little bit related to voguing. Like, they're not that far apart. But it's when I'm doing this with my hands right now. You kind of, like, are bending your arm, put your hands over your shoulder and, like, bend them at the elbow and then, like, whip them backwards and forwards. Like, you're doing rotations really fast to the beat. It's always on the beat. And you can whack out and whack up. And, like, I'm not good at it at all, but...
It's kind of like you're casting a fishing rod and cleaning your ears out with Q-tips, but dancing.
Mm-hmm. Girl groups do it a lot. Like, Cara, to me...
You would also pair this with a duck walk, you think?
I think you'd fall over. I mean, if you're... I think you'd fall over if you're duck walking and whacking. You can duck walk in Vogue, but... Mamma Mia by Cara, that's, like, to me, the first, like, big whacking choreography I noticed in K-pop.
And he was mixing that with tutting, which is, like, miniature whacking with your fingers.
No, tutting's not whacking at all. Tutting is, like, extreme, like, isolation movements with your fingers and arms and hands, where they make little, like, boxes, and they, like...
This is a dance move that would only work on television. Okay, but so he is being pushed by the show 100% because he got his own segment, and then he got a segment with Matthew.
Yeah, but I was like, yes, push them. We like them. Like, push those people.
Yeah.
Like Haruto.
Yeah, the one who did a backflip.
Yeah, and then did 30 ballet turns. Like, anyone that got that, like, extra moment, like, Ganuk, the muscular one that did, who's gonna pull the trigger?
Who looks like a beautiful, muscular woman.
Yeah. He could be like a Street Fighter character. The Korean guy, the two Kick It groups. I think we already forgot about him, but there was like the Korean guy that's like, I've only danced for a year, and he was like an incredible dancer.
Eugene, and he's 16.
Yeah, Eugene. That's my grandpa's name, Eugene. Yeah, he got pushed.
Okay, but who stuck out to you? And I think we're including the YouTube videos we watched, not just the show.
I mean, I already liked Jay, and I already liked Sung Hanbin. I mean, I just love that he's doing whacking and tutting. Like, I love both of them are like fresh. Jay's vocals and then Hanbin's dancing. I'm like, this is something new for K-pop kind of, or for a group like this.
I really appreciated that they weren't doing hard songs. I was afraid that this would be all hard songs. Mm-hmm. And the auditions there was quite a bit of lightness, especially with those two.
Yeah. Well, they cut a lot of the light songs too. Like, I liked Winnie, who's Thai. Winnie and Nice did Coco Bop. Winnie has like orange hair. I really liked him. He was like attractive and he sung well. And that's, like I said, that's all I want is to be hot and sing well. Matthew, I liked from Canada too. He just felt like a little like, oh wow, I was going to say Justin Bieber and I was like, oh fuck, Justin Bieber's Canadian. Like, that's so crazy.
Yeah. And he did a solo performance where you weren't bored.
Mm-hmm. Points for that.
A major point for that.
Major points.
I think it is cruel making some of these people do solo performances. Like the two guys who did Criminal. That was criminal.
Okay, actually, the first guy the one gayer guy that did Criminal that slouched. I love how we don't know anyone's names, but you guys, whatever.
If you're watching the show, you know what we're talking about.
The Korean guy that slouched his jacket over his shoulders. The gayer one that had like a mesh shirt. His vocals sucked, but his dance he's so gay. Like, and that was cool. He also felt different. He felt like really sensual and like just gay. And I'm like, I would enjoy watching him progress and like find a little role on this show and not get lost. So it's probably them. I like Jong Hao, the violinist, great singer from the foreign group of New Things. And I liked Camden, too, the other American with Jay, because he seemed like a really good dancer and he was a good rapper. And he also felt relaxed and confident.
Yeah, he was great in the YouTube video we had to watch because he was edited out of the show.
Yeah, I like those guys.
I think that's it. I liked Ollie from the very...
Yeah, Ollie's cute.
I liked his rap.
Well, it's nice that he's fluent in English, too.
Yeah, that group had two fluent English singers, which is kind of jarring when you can understand the English lyrics. And you're not used to that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see Ollie going places. Yeah, you guys, I think that is it for this episode. We just wanted to talk about, like, who do we like, how do we like them, and, like, who did we get excited by. But I think next episode, it's going to get hard because I'm starting to commit to people, and now there's going to be too many people that I like, I think. But that's it. We'll see you next time. And fighting.
Fighting.
Wow, king of high notes.